Welcome to Inkvent day number 13. Halfway through the Inkvent period. Let's take a look on the Inkvent calendar and find today's door. Here we go, number 13. Another easy one to find. Just move this over a little bit. Let's see what's in there. Oh, Upon a Star. When You Wish Upon a Star, is it? That's, according to that label, it's a bluey colour. Let's have a little look. So what type of ink have we got? We've got a chameleon ink. So this, bit like a shimmer ink, but I believe the particles are a lot smaller. And looking through this, it's a bit like a green or a bluey green. Hoping that comes over on the camera. Let's pop that to one side. I'll fetch in the swatch card. This is my normal swatch card, so it's a colouring card. I'm now going to agitate the ink and get as much of that shimmer, that chameleon, into suspension as I can. So here we go. Nicely agitated. I'm good at agitating things according to my wife. Well, that's not what she says. She normally says, you're good at agitating me. First tool, Serendipity dip pen. Let's dip it in. So we've got Diamine Upon a Star. And this is Inkvent 2022, day 13. Struggling to get that on my card there. Next, we'll use my swatching tool. I use a Pilot Parallels with a 6mm nib. Dip that in. Hopefully we'll get some ink on there. And let's do our swatch. Well, it looks at the moment like it's a very dark blue. Reminds me a little bit of Oxford blue. We'll know better once I can pull out my comparisons what I've got that's near it. But that's going on quite nicely. One more dip. I'm going to go right to the bottom in case any of that chameleon has settled. And then see if we can get that nice and thick in the middle. My final one. Single pass down the side. There we go. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Just going to pop this to one side. Give that time to dry. Whilst that's doing that, I'll fetch in the Endless Recorder notebook. 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. So we're up to day 13. Just going to re-dip it. Before I re-dip it, what I'm going to do, put the lid back on the ink. I don't want to spill it everywhere. Because some of that shimmer there, that's settled down, I'm just re-agitating it. I want to give it the best chance to shine, don't I? Okay, we'll dip in again. And hopefully we'll get some writing. Day number 13. It's just called Upon a Star, isn't it? I keep on wanting to put Wish Upon a Star. Upon a Star. There's an immediate swipe. A lot of blue in there. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. 1 minute. So after a minute, I've got to be honest, none of those swatches seems to have changed, other than putting ink all over my hand. Let's write a sentence. Now, it's run out of ink by the look of it. I'm not going to re-dip it. I actually did re-dip it whilst we were doing the waiting for these to happen, because I also write in a couple of other books, just the names of the ink, and it ran out of ink there, so I had to re-dip there a couple of times. So that's something to be aware of on this dip pen. It certainly seems to be drier, but when we see the swatches, that looks really wet. Just going to pop this to one side, give it a chance to dry. Whilst it's drying, we fetch in the Advent Calendar, Santa's Workshop. There we go, we're looking for day 13. Not many more windows to open on this. Well, I found 14. 15. Oh, here we go. 13 on the last side. So what have we got on the doors? Find the blue bauble. And there's the blue bauble. And in there we've got a Freddo. Pop that to one side. Let's pop this down on the floor again. And in comes the her bag. So every day my wife, she's got me a gift. It's usually stationery related or something to do with one of my other interests. Let's see what's in the bag today. Let's turn it around. Oh, whatever it is, it feels like it's in a box. And, oh, a pilot. I wonder if I've got a plane to go with that. I wonder what is in this pilot box. This is a bit intriguing. I mean, past few pens have all been like things like Wing Sun and Pen BBS. No, there was no Pen BBS, was there? It was all Wing Sun and Jinhao. So here we've got an inside box. Let's open that up. Got some instructions and stuff. Wow. Just look at this. You just ease this out of the box. This is a pilot, either Elite or E95S, depending what the market is. Let's take a look at this. This is, wow, look at that nib. Oh, this is awesome. I think she must have been looking at my list of pens that I'd like, because this is on there. I've been eyeing it up and watching reviews for it for the past few months. Maybe that's where she got the hint from. Let's open this up. Inside, we've got a converter there as well. And in the box, we had a cartridge. Pop this back together. There's something under the bed, is there? No, it's just a card to lift it up a bit. That's awesome. I'm going to put this to one side, and then I'm going to put it onto my list of pens to do an unboxing of first impressions of, but that one's going to go to the top. That was absolutely awesome. Let's fetch back in our writing. So here we go. And I'll fetch back in the swatch card. That looks quite interesting. Just going to go to my box of swatches, see if I can find any that look very similar. So taking a look at this swatch, you know, we've got this gorgeous blue colour. And then we've got this red sheen to it. You can really see that sheen here in the swatch. Obviously, I went on really thick there. But there's still a little bit coming through here in this blue. And then we've got a green shimmer in there. Quite pretty, that, isn't it? Hopefully that's coming over on the camera. Now, I couldn't find anything very close to this. So the first one I brought in, as I said when I was doing the actual swatch part, reminds me a lot of Diamine Oxford Blue. So here's Oxford Blue. Yeah, maybe the blue's a little bit of a similarity there. The other one that I found, again, not exactly the same. This is from last year's Inkvent. This is Stargazer. The blue isn't the same, but we've got that nice red sheen there with it. So I thought, well, yeah, that's as close as I can find in my current blue inks. Let's look at the writing. So with the writing, can we see any of that sheen and shimmer? Yeah, I'm seeing some of the sheen there. Not seeing a lot of that chameleon, that green, like shimmer coming out though. Still, it's quite nice. It's a nice blue. I know it starts off dark where I've dipped it, but as we were going along, once we get into the second line, yeah, we can see that blue coming through. You know, it's still got some of that red sheen on there as well. We'll take a quick look now at the chromatography. So if I fetch that in. You know, it's fairly blue all the way up. I think there's a little line down here at the bottom where you can still see some of that shimmer particles. But yeah, we just got pale blues. We've got some darker blues. Maybe is that a hint of like green? Then we've got some red at the top, which I'm assuming is where the sheen's coming from. And we've got here some nice bright blue as well. So this is Diamine Inkvent 2022. Day 13, Upon a Star.